Hey team, welcome back. Today's class we are working on some spinal mobility. So we'll start standing, we'll go through some thoracic cards, neck cards, then we'll get into a couple of different bases and work on some stuff for the T-spine. The only equipment we'll need is a yoga block. If you don't have a yoga block, it's not totally necessary. It's really just for this opening one, just something to press into. You use a drink bottle or a heavy book, something like that, just something to press into. Again, if you don't have it, it's all good. You can just go crisscross. So I'm going to start standing. I'm going to start in a wide-legged base. So legs nice and wide, we'll bend in the knees. You can watch this first one and then we'll all do it together. We'll do 4 rounds or 4 reps in each direction. If you've got your object, you'll place your hands onto that object and create some tension by pressing into that object. Again, if you don't have that, just crisscross, grab for opposite shoulders. From here, we will take a breath in, create some tension throughout the whole body. And I will tuck my chin to my chest, keep my hips as stable as I can, not trying to move from the hips. Rotate to a side, side bend. So I'm rotating to my right side. So now to side bend, I'll dip my left shoulder down, extend through the spine, rotate through to the other side bend, flex, and back to center. All right, so we'll all do that together. We'll go 4 rounds in one direction and 4 reps in the other direction. So you're going to go onto the object, create some tension, press into the object, take a breath in, tuck your chin to your chest, start rounding through the spine, rotate to a side bend, extend, rotate to the other side bend, flex, and back to the starting position. That's 1. And we just keep moving through in the same direction. Rotate, side bend, extend, side bend, flex, back to neutral. I think this is number 3. Still maintain that tension throughout your body. And that's 4. Reverse your direction. Keep pressing into your object if you're holding onto one. And with each rep, looking for a little bit more range of motion, but trying not to compensate, move around at the hips, trying to keep those hips nice and stable. I think this is 3 on this side for me. 1 more. All right, we can put our block over to the side for now. Next, we'll go into neck cards. So what we'll do, we'll take our hands into fists. You can have your hips just about hips distance now. Take a breath in and go and create that tension throughout your body. And tuck your chin to your chest. Rotate to a side, so turn towards the shoulder. Then lift the chin up. Circle all the way over to the other shoulder. And then back to that starting position. We'll do 3 in each direction for this one. Trying to keep your shoulders down. And then drawing the biggest circle you can with your neck without going into any pain at all. So if you feel pain at all in your neck, that's a sign you're going a little bit too far. So just back off in the range of motion. That's 3 for me, so I'm going to reverse my direction. Again, I'm just fighting for a little bit more rotation with each round here, or each rep. I keep saying round. We go 1 more in this direction. Nice. And then release. The next one we're going to do is spinal segmentation from a standing hip hinge position. So I'll show you this from side on for this one. And we'll show you this one first, and then we can all do it together. So for me, I'm going to take my hands into fists. And from there, I'm going to hinge my hips back. And now I'm going to create extension through my back by lifting my bum up and pulling my chest forward. So I've got that arch in my low back here. So I'm going to create that tension throughout my body. And now I'm going to start coming into flexion by starting from the tail. So I'm going to tuck my tail under, and I'm rounding through the spine, the low spine, mid and upper, and then tucking my chin at the end here. So now I'm in a fully flexed position with my chin tucked, I'm going to start from the tail again. Start lifting my bum up towards the sky, and then low back, mid back, upper back, into extension. We're back to our starting position. Okay, we'll do 3 in either direction. So 3 starting from the tail, and 3 starting from the neck. So take those hands into fists, hinge your hips back, lift your bum up towards the sky, and pull your chest forward, creating that arch in your spine. From there, take a breath in, create that tension throughout your body. And then start from the tail, start tucking your bum under, start rolling through the low, mid, upper, neck is the last to tuck in. And start from the tail again. So lift your bum up towards the sky, rolling through the spine, pulling chest forward. Again, start with tail, rolling nice and slow, and control. We'll do 3 on this side. Again, starting from the tail, lifting bum up. Got 1 more here. Tucking under, rolling low, mid, upper, and the neck. 1 more time from the tail, up, all the way back into extension. Now we'll start from the neck. Tuck your chin to your chest, roll through upper back, mid back, low back, and tucking that tail under. Then lifting your chin up, trying to roll through upper back, mid back, low back, and back into extension. 2 more here. Chin to chest, upper back, mid back, low back. Tuck that tail under. Lift the chin up from the upper spine and thoracic spine all the way through the lumbar. 1 more time. Chin to chest. Again, from the neck we start. All right, nice. From here, we'll come down onto your hands and knees into a quadruped position or base, and we'll just have a look at anterior and posterior tilt of the pelvis. So from here, if I'm in a neutral position here, to come into anterior tilt, I lift my bum up towards the sky. Posterior tilt, I tuck my tail under. So just do that a few times, about 6 times in either direction. Anterior, bum up. Posterior, tuck your tail under. Anterior and posterior. So for this next drill that we're going to do, we want that posterior tilt. So anterior is lifting bum up. Posterior is what we want. So we want that feel of that tuck of the tail. You also feel your core and your abdominal muscles here are working as you tuck your tail under. Do 1 more right here. All right, from here, we'll come to sit down on our bums. Take the legs straight out in front of you. Now for this one, there's a couple of options. I'm going to do it with straight legs. You can do it with bent knees, makes it a little bit easier. You can also do it if you have a resistance band or something that you can hold onto to slowly pull you down into the motion. For those of you more advanced, you can do this with straight legs and holding onto a weight as well. All right, so I'll show you this first one and then we'll do it together. What we'll do here, whether your knees are bent, straight, whatever option you're taking here, take your hands into fists, reach those fists straight out in front of you, working on spinal flexion. So from here, what I'll do, I'll tuck my chin, I'll take my tuck my chin to my chest, get my words mixed up, and then slowly rolling down through the spine. So you see my spine here is all completely flexed. From here, I'll tuck my tail under to that posterior tilt that we just worked on, and slowly rolling down, all the way down onto your back, and then rolling down the spine piece by piece onto the ground. Head is the last to touch. To come back up, I tuck my chin to my chest. I maintain that flexion through the spine, trying to keep your heels down as best as you can. I keep fighting for more flexion as I reach forward, 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 forward. And I stay in that flexed position, and then I would roll back down. All right, we'll do 6 of these total together. Like hands into fists, reach them out in front, create that tension throughout your body. Tuck your chin to your chest. Start coming into flexion, tuck your tail under, slowly rolling down onto your back. And it's that maintaining of the tuck of your tail, which really helps you roll down nice and slowly. And there, as we touch down, I tuck my chin to my chest, slowly roll all the way back up. Keep finding some more flexion, more rounding through the spine as you reach forward, 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 forward. Stay in that flex position. And roll all the way back down. Your core, your belly muscles are engaged. You've got that posterior tilt. You're slowly coming back down to the ground. Beautiful. You kind of breathe as best you can. Maintain that flex spine as you roll forward. And all the way, I'm scooting off my yoga mat here. All the way back down. Nice and controlled. Sorry about my deep breathing. You have to listen to that. That's part of the deal. All right. Keep maintaining that posterior tilt as you roll down. Keep using those abs to control the descent. Try and keep the heels down. Mine lift up just slightly there. That's okay. I'm not sure, I've lost my rep count. We'll do one more here. Nice and controlled all the way down and all the way back up. Okay, and come to sit all the way back. All right, this next one we're going to do is working still on spinal flexion. We'll add some rotation and side bend as well. So it's sort of similar to the original one that we started with, the wide legs, that we did. We rotate, side bend, flex. But now we do it up against the wall. And the whole time what we're trying to do is maintain our low back and our hips staying against the wall. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to stand against the wall. I'm going to have my feet a little bit of distance in front of my hips. I think I'm going to bend my knees. So now my low back and my hips are in contact with the wall. I've got my yoga block with me here, but you don't have to use the yoga block. You can just have your hands in that crisscross position that we did earlier. If you wanted to advance this, you can hold on to some light dumbbells as well, some kind of light weight. So I've got my block here. I'm going to press my hands into my block. From there, I'm going to tuck my chin to my chest. So we'll just watch this first one, and then we'll do it together. I'm going to tuck my chin to my chest. I'm going to roll my spine off of the wall, keeping my low back, my hips on the wall. Engage your belly muscles as you come down. Once you get to your maximum range of motion, you roll back up onto the wall. Nice and slow and controlled, all the way back up. So again, the bend in the knees, feet a little bit away from the wall here, and maintain hips and low back on the wall the whole time. We're just trying to get the thoracic spine to flex and extend, mainly the flexion that we're working on here. So press your hands into your object or hold your dumbbells, whatever you're doing, or crisscross those arms. Take a breath in, create that tension throughout your body. And then tuck your chin to your chest and start rolling the spine off of the wall. As you get to your max range, those belly muscles are engaged. And then roll back up onto the wall, piece by piece by piece. Once you get to the top, again, flex, tuck chin to chest, rolling down, and all the way back up. So you just go into your maximum range of motion where you can keep that low back and hips on the wall. There's no point in cheating here, just do your best. So with all this mobility work, it's all about working with the range of motion that you have in your body. There's no point in doing this quickly or compensating in the rest of the body to try and get into a particular shape or look the way you think the drill should look. You've got to work with what you got. And over time, if you're persistent with this, it'll start to open up maybe a little bit more for you. So we'll do two more, that's one. One more. Still creating that tension, pressing into my block here. And I roll all the way back up. This next one, we're going to be in the exact same position. Now we're going to do, when we flex down into our maximum range of motion, we're going to hold there, and then we're going to rotate to a side, maintaining the low back and hips on the wall. Hold there for a couple of seconds, and then rotate to the other side. We're trying to make that rotation just through the thoracic spine here. Again, hips, low back stay on the wall. So if you rotate to a side and your hip pops off, you've gone too far. That means the hips and low back are compensating for the lack of mobility in the spine, the thoracic spine. So just go to a point that you're maximum. I'll stop blabbering and we'll get on with it. So hands onto the blocks or whatever option you're taking here. Take a breath in, create that tension throughout your body. And flex the spine down to your maximum. That's me right there. Rotate to a side. Come back to center. Rotate to the other side. Maintain that flexion of the spine the whole time. And keeping the low back and the hips glued to the wall as best as you can. Maintain that flexion through the spine, that rounding forward. And just going side to side. Still creating that tension throughout the rest of the body. Nice, we'll go 2 more on either side. 1. Actually, that's 1 because I started. That's 1. Don't cheat yourself. 1. 2. And 2. Stay flexed, come back to that central position. Now we're going to go to a side and we're going to hold for about 15 seconds and then we'll go back to the other side. So take a breath in, create that tension throughout your body, low back, hips glued to the wall, rotate to a side and hold. Fighting for more rotation the whole time from that mid-spine. Keep working and breathing, pressing into your block if you've got it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll slowly to the other side. Stay flexed and hold again another 15 or so seconds. Finding for more rotation. Low back glued to the wall. Breathing as best as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to neutral and roll all the way. Whew. After standing. All right, we can come out of the space. All right, we'll finish off the class with some CARs, controlled articular rotations. We'll do from the neck first, and then we'll finish with the spine. So I'm going to do 2 variations. I'm going to do one from a Sphinx pose for the neck first. For some of you, that position is just not going to be all that comfortable. So you can just do it here, kneeling or standing, and that neck CARs that we started with where we rotate the neck around nice and controlled. The second one will be for the spinal segmentation, and we'll do that. I'm going to do that from a frog-based position, but if that's not comfortable for you, you can just go hands and knees, totally fine. So we're going to start with that Sphinx position. Come to lie down on your belly, hands out in front of you, elbows under the shoulders. The forearms press down into the ground and pull your chest forward to the back's an extension here. And now we're going to our neck CARs. So take a breath in, create that tension throughout your body. Tuck your chin to your chest. Rotate, look towards the shoulder. And look up. Circle all the way around. Again, if this is not comfortable for you, you can do this kneeling or standing. We'll do 4 in either direction this time. Nice and slow and controlled. Looking for as much rotation as you can without any pain. Keep those shoulders back, drawing down. My shoulders tend to shrug up and yours might as well with this one. Again, so shoulders drawing down and back. One more on this side. And then reverse your direction. And that's 2. We'll do 2 more. Shoulders back and down. No, that's the last one. All right. From here, then I'm going to come to that frog-based position, but that may not be working for you and your hips, particularly if you haven't warmed up the hips at all. So from here, you can just go into a quadruped position if that's not comfortable for your hands and knees. I'm going to come to that frog base. I'm going to take my knees out a bit wider. This isn't all that comfortable with the wooden floors here, so I'm going to grab 2 yoga mats. So from here, I'm going to take my knees a bit wider and the toes facing away from each other. So from here, I'm going to start an extension. I'm going to pull my chest forward, lift my bum up towards the sky. And this one's more subtle. You can't really see the movement as clearly as you're in that quadruped position. And I'm going to start from my tail. We'll do 3 in either direction. So tuck the tail under, rolling through low back, mid back, upper back, and tuck the chin to chest. And start with the tail coming into extension, lifting that bum up, low, mid, upper, and neck. And tuck the tail, rolling through the spine. And start with your bum, lifting it up, and the neck last. Do 1 more in this direction. Nice, and we'll finish starting with the neck. Tuck chin to chest, press those elbows down to the ground, or your hands in the ground if you're on hands and knees. Tuck the tail, and start with the neck, rolling through upper, mid, low back. Lifting your bum up to the sky, and tuck your chin in, upper back, mid back, low back. This one's much more challenging. 1 final time, nice and slow and controlled. I went a little bit fast on that last one. All right, and then come out of the base, whoosh, nice and casually. And that's our class for today, everybody. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope you're feeling good. I'll see you next time. Thank you.